Hi lovelies, and welcome to the Witch's Cookery. Today I want to guide you and take you along through a full day of wild witch summer magic, and because during the days it gets just ungodly hot and not really pleasant to be outside, we are starting this day at the butt crack of dawn. So let's go for a little drive and find a place to cool off, awaken our senses, and start into a most magical day. While I'm usually a big supporter of coffee in the morning, another great and probably healthier way to gently wake up your body and practice some mindfulness while you do so is to focus on all your individual senses. Find a place where you can really enjoy the beauty of nature. Take deep breaths, long inhales and exhales to slowly and gently start into the day with less stress, less rushed, and much more tranquil. If you want to throw in a little bit of natural divination here, why not try orthomancy, which is the divination using the flight pattern of birds, or a little bit of cloud scrying. While I am outside here in this beautiful environment, there's lots of sweet smells of summer flowers to be discovered. And not only that, I also find ways to engage my sense of taste. I adore Himalayan balsam that is blooming everywhere around rivers right now. People don't really like it because it spreads like crazy, but I enjoy it so much. Not only because it's super fun to pop those explosive little seed capsules, but also because it tastes wonderfully roasted and sprinkled over your yogurt or smoothie bowl. And then of course we also want to engage our sense of touch. And personally in the mornings, warm summer mornings, one wonderful thing to do is a little bit of grounding. Take off your shoes, just feel the soil underneath your skin. And well, I'm German and we just like to get naked. I can't explain why that is, but we just like it. We like to swim naked and just be free in our skin. And obviously this is also something that just will make you feel like an absolute wild witch. It just brings you closer to nature, and if you never have done this, absolutely try this. If you live in a country where it's not so common, maybe do it in a space where there are not too many people, or very early or late in the day. You know, you don't want to get arrested. And also, while I was filming this, I'm pretty sure the other people there thought I was filming OnlyFans content, but it was magical. Just stretched in the sun, invited in the solar energy, and then swam in the, well, it was lukewarm, but it was still kind of refreshing lake, just feeling the water on my bare skin, getting a little bit of movement in. If you struggle with body image, for example, I also find that being naked outside in nature can absolutely help with that, getting more in touch with the body that carries you through every day. You realize more that you are part of nature too, of growth, of change, and that it's natural and beautiful. So yeah, it might not necessarily be a misconception that witches dance naked under the moon. I find it super helpful to journal a little bit in the morning. Here I did a little bit of reflection on the day and a bit of gratitude journaling. It really helps you track your mood, your goals, get clearer on thoughts, and not just like ramble through the day without really a course of action or clarity of thought, but be much more self-aware and then act according to what your authentic inner self needs and wants. When I have time in the mornings, I always try to throw in a little bit of divination, and here I have a new method for you that I discovered for myself and I really love. So I basically will just stand there for a second in a comfortable position. I will close my eyes and I will think of a question I might have or a topic that I need a little bit more clarity on, and I let my body act. And then when I open my eyes, I just follow my steps. I don't really think where I'm going. I just follow them until I feel like, okay, now I should stop. And as you can see, I'm holding a little wand. It's just a stick in my hand. And then I'm just drawing the circle where I'm standing. It might be with me in a circle. It might be a circle just in front of me. You can do that in sand, on regular floor, on concrete, in the city, wherever you want. You just want a contained area. And then I look at everything I can see in that circle, right? Everything just stands out to me. For example, I saw this struggling ant. There were a lot of little paths in the sand carved with some sort of toy by kids. And the ant was just struggling to find its ways and was always running up hills. And additionally to that, I also found this bit of plant root that also kind of signaled me many different ways, and there was only one main stem, one main road. This message really related with me on multiple levels because there is a lot of uphill struggle at the moment for me too. And in order to invite a bit more peace and tranquility into my heart, I then decided to do a meditation. And before I tell you a really cool way on how to meditate if you have troubles focusing for a longer time, I want to introduce my favorite app for this to you. Aura is really a one-in-all mental health, spirituality, meditation app that helps you on your journey of personal growth, of witchcraft, of being more mindful and being more present in a moment. You can track your moods, and it also customizes what it presents you, so it can really help you calm anxiety, sleep better, be a more present parent or a more patient partner. It has coaching sessions on there from therapists and from professional coaches, hypnosis, affirmations, guided visualizations, meditations, and one of my personal favorites, also really lovely magical bedtime stories that just make me feel like a child again. Someone is just whispering wonderful stories in my ear while I drift away. And I've been using Aura for years now, and I highly recommend it to anyone who wants to deepen their meditation practice or start a meditation practice. Down in the description box, you'll find a link that gives you a free trial and exclusive 25% off for the first 500 people who sign up. So be quick and then feel peace. Back to topic, if you struggle with classic meditation, I really recommend a guided self-massage, where you just follow a voice that explains to you how to massage your hands or your head. It connects you again with your body. It lets your hands do something. So it's not only in your mind, but you're still having this mindful moment with yourself where you're just focusing on caring for yourself and being with your body, with your thoughts, in balance. And since now I felt so refreshed after my dip in the lake, I decided the morning is young. We can still go on a little walk over the fields. It's now the time around lughnasadh, the first big harvest festival on the wheel of year. And it's the time where all the fields are full with grains, where the farmers are putting their machinery out to bring in what is ripe before it gets destroyed by summer heat or thunderstorms. Look at this, the beauty of the golden wheat stalks against a blue summer sky. There's so much cool folklore and history around this time of year. Here in Germany, we celebrate the Kräuterweihe, the blessing of the herbs, and the Schnitterfest, so the harvest reaper feast. And if you want to know more about that, you can actually check out my self-paced email course on lughnasadh or lammas. I have it on my website. If you want to get a little bit more of an understanding of the magic of the season, the folk witch traditions and all of that, I recommend you to check it out. I'll also link it down below for you. Then I passed by this cute little chapel. We have a lot of these nature shrines or chapels out in nature, which is still a leftover from the times of the Germanic tribes and the Celts that lived here before, and to whom nature and nature gods and goddesses were incredibly important. I just took a moment to spot already the first signs that now the late summer will slowly slip into fall, the witch's time. Another harvest item of the season is of course corn growing in the fields in abundance. And should you not live in farmer's country, don't worry, because you can also see the harvest aspect around this time of year in a more transcendental way. Maybe think about what in your life is now ready to be reaped. What do you need to bring in to sustain you over darker times over the winter? And with that, I concluded my Wild Witch morning to actually get to harvesting, because it is also the feast of honey, the honey harvest, or the second honey harvest where I live. And I visited my bees to check what they have been busy with. By the way, honey in many cultures is also an ingredient that's highly used in folk witchcraft practice. There's so many lore about the bees. Mostly it was used in prosperity, fertility, and protection charms. Honey embodies sweetness and the healing, the connection to the divine. There's a lot of goddesses, especially if we look more into the African continent, that connect honey with femininity, with love. It's used to sweeten up people's feelings. And look at this golden amber just dripping down. It just screams abundance and joy. In Western European traditions, bees are actually told of important events, including deaths and births and marriages and departures and returns in the keeper's household. And it was actually believed that if you would not do this, then the bees would either leave their hive or stop producing honey, or they would die. If you would like me to make a video about honey and bee magic, then please let me know, because I would be very excited to share more about these fascinating creatures and this wonderful kitchen witch tool with you. And speaking of kitchen witchery, now is the time for a little bit of cooking, obviously, including honey, and we're making a honey drizzled pesto flatbread with grilled peaches, mozzarella and prosciutto, sprinkled with a little bit of chili flakes. And this is so good. It has become my summer obsession. It's also a great meal that you could technically make over an open fire if you put it in a cast iron pan. And it just fits perfectly with barbecues, with a light summer salad. And you don't have to stand hours in the kitchen. It's fairly easy and quick to do, which I find with these temperatures a big plus too. So first of all, we're going to make a simple yeast dough, and as always, you'll find the exact measurements in the description box below. And then we're going to cut fresh mozzarella and these beautiful peaches, which is a harvest item of the season. Well, not necessarily where I live, but my neighbor actually grows them. I don't know how. She might be some sort of weather witch. Cooking seasonally is another great way to really feel more in tune with nature and with what's going on outside, and then again, retrospectively, what is going on inside you in response to this. When you have your yeast dough made and you let it sit for a little while so it could grow, you can either roll it out, you can also just use your hands, fluff up the dough a little bit. And here I have store-bought pesto, but you could also just make it maybe from fresh basil and other garden herbs you have, combined with some pine nuts or walnuts, little bit of olive oil, and you just spread it over the dough, and then you can put your ingredients on it. If you're eating vegetarian or vegan, the base you can absolutely still use, as you can do with the peaches and the chili flakes. I would probably exchange the cheese with a vegan feta cheese. Add some fresh arugula salad after this flatbread has been baked. Sprinkle some chopped nuts on top. Instead of the meat, you could coat some cooked chickpeas in olive oil and spices like curry, smoked paprika. Sprinkle them on top. Last but not least, freshly harvested honey. Drizzle it on top. The cheese for some melting goodness, and because I just love flavor, I put a little bit more olive oil on top of there. It is quite rich, it is quite, it has a couple of calories, but who cares, because this is honestly wonderful. It's just an explosion in your mouth and you can taste the summer. It brings me so much joy to make this, and now let's cut into it. Oh, and we can eat it. I hope you enjoyed this wild witch magic. Let me know what wild witchery you are getting up to this late summer to really still enjoy the season before fall comes knocking with gray skies and rain and wind. I wish you the most beautiful day. Goodbye!